going on, everyone? Welcome to another very exciting episode right here on the My Gardener channel. I am really excited about today's episode because I was just out here planting up the last giant crimson tomato that has sprouted, and I wanted to bring you along for a grow room tour for one of the last videos of 2018. So let's jump on into it. So one of the things about the lettuce that I wanted to highlight is just how long they've been in this grow system. This is only the third week that these lettuce have been in this system, and check it out. They are huge. This is just outstanding growth. And I get that it's hydroponic, and my heart truly is to garden outdoors, but I have got to admit, this is blowing my mind, and it certainly is results that I was not expecting. So I'm really excited about this. One of the things I did want to highlight as a question that was brought up about the lettuce is, do you have any plans of succession sowing? How do you rotate your crops? Well, with a static hydroponic system, there's no crop rotations. You have to finish out an entire crop or an entire bin before you replant. So that would basically mean about a week before I'm ready to harvest, I would simply start more seeds back at my seed starting station, get them sprouted and ready to go. And then once I harvested, I would simply move the seedlings into a new system, fill it up fresh with grow solution and water, and that way I could regrow the bucket again. The reason why you can't succession plant a bucket like this is because there's no bubbler. If you had a bubbler, you could succession plant. However, as the water level drops, because in a static system, you don't add more water. You simply use the water that you have, and the nutrients in that water is what the plants rely on to grow. And so as that water level drops, it becomes out of reach for smaller seedlings. And that's why everything grows very uniformly, and everything needs to be at the same size when you put them in the system. Otherwise, the larger, more mature plant will take more of the available nutrients, more of the available grow area, and it will outperform and kind of smother out some of the weaker plants. And that's why it's very crucial to have everything at the very same stage. And that's what we did, and as you can see, it's definitely paying off. So you can't, unfortunately, succession plant as well as you can outdoors, but you still can in a way. So hopefully that answers that question. So a lot of you have been asking about how the giant crimson tomatoes have been doing, and the answer is really well. You see, these plants looked a lot nicer when I first planted them. They looked a lot like this over here. You can see there's a lot more leaves. The reason why there's a lot more leaves here than over here is because these have gone through their transplant shock. This is very natural when you move a plant from hydroponics to a regular soil, because you have to remember, these plants are growing in pure water. If I took these plants and moved them over to soil, there would be a shock. They're used to their growing conditions, and moving them to something completely different naturally will shock them. What you don't want to see is you don't want to see the new growth wilting or turning yellow. As you can see, the new growth is actually greened up nicely. It's standing very firm, and any new growth coming out is not yellow, and it's really nice and firm in the leaves. That means it has a good cell structure in the roots, or in the stem. The roots, if they were rotting, would cause the plant to lack water, and that would cause what we call damping off. That would happen at basically the soil level, and the plant would slowly fall over, which is what causes the leaves to turn limp. In this case, all we've lost is simply the leaves underneath. And the lower leaves, the more mature leaves, will naturally die back from that shock. But as the plant accustoms to the growing conditions, it'll firm up, it'll grow just fine, and this really won't notice much of a difference. I've got a tray of some backup seedlings, and as you can see, I've got some germinating here. I threw about 20 seeds in this tray, and all I'm going to do is I'm simply going to scoop them out with a spoon as they begin to germinate. And you can see here that I've got a long way to go. I've only got a few sprouts, but either way, with this many sprouting after just 4 days, this seems to me like a better way to go. I think hydroponics is a good way to grow your plants, but it does lead to some more stress than I think I originally anticipated. And had I anticipated that stress, I probably would have started most of them like this. But you live and learn. We will be fine. I just think that's why a lot of the other seeds did not sprout, because you have a tendency for really weak seeds or seeds that are pretty finicky to mold. And I think that's what really happened, which is why a lot of these seeds never germinated. Here are some more plants in other hydroponic systems. These are the different Buttercrunch Bibb lettuces that we threw in here. These are looking incredible. And then we also have the Rouge de Heaver lettuce, just a really pretty lettuce. And then we also have some lettuce here. This is I believe this is the Bronze Guard lettuce. It's just not doing as well. I think one of the big things is this Bibb lettuce is a very aggressive grower, and I think it's taking some of the nutrients from the grow system. As you can tell by the root size, the root size is quite a lot larger on the Bibb, and I think what's happened is it's kind of taking some of the available nutrients faster than this lettuce is here. As you can see, the Tango leaf lettuce is just doing incredible. The Tango leaf lettuce is amazing. I love the Tango leaf lettuce. The Grand Rapids leaf lettuce is doing fantastic. This is definitely one of the fastest growers. You can see here, one of these leaves is already larger than my palm, and it's just doing outstanding. So definitely a great performer there. And as you can see, I think one of the issues with this Bronze Guard is it just is not competing very well. I think it's a slower grower. In this bin here, you can see it's doing a little bit better. It's got some of its color on some of these leaves, but it's really kind of anemic in all of the bins. And I think that's because if I were to put it in a bin of its own, I think it would do a lot better where it's not competing for some of these more aggressive growers. As you can see, the other ones are doing very well. And if I were to crack these open, I think you'd see the root system. The root system is just not as developed on the Bronze Guard, which leads to support my hypothesis that this is just a slower grower and it's not doing so well in amongst all these others. If I put this on its own, I bet it would do a whole lot better. And a lot of you have been asking for an update on the microgreens. As you can see, we've got some sprouts. This is the broccoli microgreens, so they're doing really well. And I'll be starting today, actually. I'll be starting the next tray of microgreens. So that's going to be happening. And that way we can have a nice succession of microgreens. These have only been actually in this grow system for 3 days. So 3 days till sprouting. And I get about another 4 to 5 days till harvest. So cannot complain with the results so far. Really coming along pretty well. So there's the grow room. I am really excited about everything so far, and I could not be happier. One thing we're going to be doing, as you probably have noticed, is there's some dark spots, and that's because we are in an existing basement. This entire basement is not, unfortunately, an entire grow room. I still have to share this with Mrs. My Gardener. So there is some storage and some other personal stuff, and it's kind of been a juggling act or a balancing act to kind of make the grow room separate from personal life. And so in the coming days, or maybe a week or so, we're going to be putting up some Mylar to really kind of make this more a grow room. If not, maybe Mylar, maybe some white cloth, something to reflect some of the light, because a lot of the light coming from these powerful lights is being sent into parts of the room that really don't need light, and it could be better utilized by these plants. So that's something that we have going on. But a lot of you have asked for stuff that we have going in 2019, and I am so excited for 2019 because it's going to be an incredible year. The first thing that we have is just so exciting coming in 2019 is my book. Believe it or not, I somehow found the time to write a book. It took me about 6 months, but I actually sat down and wrote a book. It is called the Autopilot Garden, and it's actually available for pre-order. It's coming out in February 12th. It'll be available actually for you to read February 12th. It can be pre-ordered on Amazon as well as Barnes & Noble, but we'll also have it available for pre-order at our website. We just don't have that set up yet because we don't have a really good way of taking pre-orders yet, and we are working on that. So stay tuned for that update, but that's one of the biggest things that we're so excited about because this book will truly revolutionize how you garden, and it really will make the biggest difference to growing food effortlessly in ways that you never thought were possible. Another thing in terms of content creation that's coming in 2019 are way more videos. I know you probably are thinking to yourself, Luke, you do so many videos. Well, we're going to be doing way more videos. So one of the biggest requests has been more growing guides. So that's going to be happening. We're going to be having a ton more growing guides. One of the things that we're very excited about also is year-round food production. So many of you have asked about the hows and the whys of why we're planting certain crops, the amounts that we're planting, and kind of what we hope to get out of them. For the longest time, we've kind of just planted them and said, this is what we're planting. But we never really went into and elaborated the reason why we're planting as many as we are, our future plans for kind of what we're hoping to get out of them. We've kind of just planted them and called our garden, and never really specified. But on the back end, behind the scenes, we had a very specific reason for why we were planting what we planted. And so in 2019, we're actually going to be outlining that because we're going to be actually endeavoring in a mission for what we call food sustenance for a family of 3. This is because we are a family of 3 and we aim to grow all the food we consume in 2019. And so it's going to be a very fun series for all of you to kind of follow along with, because we're going to actually be showing you the hows and whys to plan out your garden accordingly for a family of 3. Obviously, this will kind of change based on taste preferences. We don't really love eggplants, so we probably won't grow that many eggplants, but you'll get kind of a feel for how many plants are required for specific things. We're going to be growing things that are immediate consumption plants as well as long-term storage plants. And that's going to be a lot of fun because it's going to allow you to kind of see into the mind of MI Gardener as to why we're planting what we're planting and how we're able to grow so much food for such a long period of consumption. And so I'm just so excited about it. We also have plans to add on to the orchard. It's going to be a ton of fun, folks. I can't even begin to get into all of the stuff we have planned, but basically the reason why we haven't had videos up for the past week and a half or so as consistently is because we've been planning. We want to dedicate our 100% effort to you because you deserve it. You deserve to have a resource that you can tap into to grow more food for your family, have more fun. And I really do believe that 2019, you're going to see the true potential of your garden if you implement some of the stuff that we're outlining because, man, we're passionate about what we do. And I feel that passion recently has been really it's been really strained because of just how far I've been stretched thin. And because of the resources that we're bringing in and the renewed effort of Mrs. MI Gardener and I to do the videos that we do, you're going to be blown away for 2019. So stay tuned. It's going to be exciting. Make sure you subscribe if you're not yet already, and post in the comments box below anything you're really excited about and want to see in 2019. But that's really it. So as always, thank you for an amazing 2018. We'll catch you all in 2019 on the very next episode, and we'll catch you all later. Grow big or go home, guys. Bye.